everyone.
Wow.
I'm very excited to kick off our regular meeting for the month of March. I'd like to start the meeting with our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call, please?
Matthew Bryan, Chief of Police.
Krista Heiner, Township Engineer.
Dave Chris, Director of Finance.
Jeff Winterbottom, Assistant Manager.
Bob Hart, Township Manager.
John Wolford, Solicitor's Office.
Kevin McDevitt, Supervisor.
Sam Colby, Vice Chair.
John Granath, Supervisor.
And Laura Rivera, Chair. I'd like to announce that we have an executive session immediately preceding this meeting to discuss matters of personnel and litigation. We actually have no old business this evening, so we'll start, actually, we're going to start with approval of the regular minutes of the meeting February 25th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make that a form of motion.
Second.
Thank you both. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Citizens to be heard. Come to the podium at this time. Okay, if not, there will be another opportunity later in the meeting. So now, we will start with our new business.
I will. Escrow release number 15, final, 2311 Old Arch Road, Bradbury Point. I'd like to call on our Township Engineer, Krista Heiner, to review this item.
Thank you, Supervisor Granath. As you mentioned, this is the final and number 15 release of escrow for 2311 Old Arch Road, also known as Bradbury Point. It is in the amount of $10,752.50. Our office has inspected the work and found the improvements that have been constructed in accordance with the plan, and we're recommending this release.
Any questions? Okay, does anyone want to put that into the form of motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you, Supervisor Ganis. Thank you, Vice Chair Coleman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the affirm the tax assessment settlement for 325 West Germantown Pike. I'd like to call on our township solicitor to review this item.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt. This is a tax assessment appeal at 325 Germantown Pike, which is an office complex at that location. And like many office complexes in this climate, was sought a tax appeal from the Montgomery County Board of Assessment, which deemed that there to be no change in the assessment, and the taxpayer thereafter filed an appeal to the Court of Common Pleas. The school district and the taxpayer reached a proposed settlement for this board's consideration that would result in a overpayment, meaning a refund to be issued by the township for the 2024 tax year in the amount of $1,042.89, and a decrease in the payment moving forward for the next tax year 2025 of $1,397.40. Although this is a decrease, it should be noted that the overpayment and the refund by the school district will be upwards around $15,000. As such, we believe it's in the best interest based upon the evaluation of the appraisals and the cost of litigation to approve the settlement.
Thank you. Any questions? Anyone like to move to approve that settlement?
I'll make that a form of motion to approve.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Vice Chair Coleman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that settlement is approved.
Authorization to advertise RFP for Act 511 tax compliance auditing services. I would like to call Director of Finance, David Crease, to review this item.
Thank you, Vice Chair Coleman. At the February meeting, you might recall that the board authorized an increase of rate to our current Act 511 tax compliance auditing firm. And there was a discussion at that time about
putting together an RFP to make sure that we're getting the best services possible at the best prices for this activity. It was noted that our original service was contracted back in 2013 and that it had been renewed annually at the same rate for the next 10 years before it was increased. So after the suggestion of the board, we went back and found the original RFP from that time, made some changes to it to update it. It's been submitted to our solicitor's office for final review, but what we're asking for tonight is authorization to advertise that request for proposal for Act 511 tax compliance auditing services. You've got a copy of the RFP in front of you. I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have.
And I can say we are confident that we'll be able to come back with you hopefully at the next meeting with some strong proposals at a significantly reduced hourly rate. So stay tuned.
Looking forward to that. Anyone want to put that in the form of motion?
I'll put that in form of a motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Holm. Any seconds?
Second.
Thank you, Supervisor Bananas. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. Thank you.
Okay, fire services vehicle purchase. I'd like to call on our finance director, Mr. Chris, to tell us about this item.
Thank you, Supervisor Gavanis. In front of you tonight is a request to purchase a fire service vehicle. You may recall last year we were awarded a local share account grant from the state, which has no matching component for the township, so it's all 100% funded through the purchase is totally largely funded through the grant. The grant was for $340,000. It was a result of a proposal that was an application that was put together by the Norton Fire Engine Company for a special service unit truck. An illustration of the truck is on screen. This is not the truck that we'll be receiving, but it is a Vengeance Squall 12-foot service unit truck. So it's purely, I'm showing it as an illustration of the intent of what the grant is, what the grant is for. So NFEC, the Norton Fire Engine Company, put a lot of time and effort into speccing out what they were interested in. Their concern is that they needed a vehicle to be able to provide additional first response service and carry additional manpower and equipment for all types of services and emergencies within the township. And they have recommended the purchase of this Vengeance Squall 12-foot Ford F-550 vehicle from the Glick Fire Equipment Company. It is under purchase from a CoStarz contract. The truck itself and the outfitting is $358,000. The grant is for $340,000. The township does have an additional $18,000 available to make up the difference. Any additional outfitting or purchase of equipment at this point, as far as I know, is something the Norton Fire Engine Company is going to take care of. So what we're asking for tonight is approval to purchase the Vengeance Squall 12-foot Ford F-550 vehicle from the Glick Fire Equipment Company under the CoStarz contract for the total amount of $358,000, of which $340,000 is going to be provided from the state through a local share account grant. I'd be glad to answer any questions that I can about this purchase, although there's others in the room who may be better equipped to do so.
Is this vehicle replacing a vehicle that's going to be taken out of service, or is it complement?
No, so this is actually a new vehicle to the Norton Fire Engine Company. And the thinking behind this is we have an engine and we have a tower at Station B. This truck will be outfitted with rescue equipment. So we're trying to cut down on buying larger equipment, like another engine, which is almost $800,000 to purchase, to where we can put enough rescue equipment on this truck. And we have another truck coming out of Station A, our squad, which also has rescue equipment. So we'll be able to, any kind of whether it's a car accident or somebody trapped in their house, or any sort of all hazard vehicle, this is going to help out with the squad.
Got it.
Okay, any other questions? And the other thing too is this is 22 months away.
Oh, it's gonna take them that long to do
Yes.
it? Okay.
build it.
The lead time for all of these vehicles is like never been seen before. So it's very-
I guess since they're all custom, they don't like just have them on a lot somewhere.
Yeah, and the parts take so long to get.
Any chance our needs might change in those 20?
No, this is something that we're trying to do, and basically, it's going to help us reduce costs in the long run.
Because you won't be running those.
Because we won't be purchasing another vehicle,
Yeah.
so.
Thank you.
And those would have been the answers I would have given also.
I know, Dave.
And also, Chairwoman, I'm going to abstain from this vote, only because I helped with the grant, and being the fire chief of the fire company, it's probably best that I let everybody else do it.
Understood. And because there are three of us, that's still.
If I could ask Supervisor McDevitt, when you're done, shoot me an email just saying you're abstaining. So
I will do that.
Thank you.
Would anyone like to put that in the form of motion?
I will make the motion to approve the purchase of engine Squall 12-foot Ford F-550 vehicle in the amount of $358,000.
I'll second.
Thank you both. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Congrats. Kevin,
Okay.
the fire department.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Resolution number 2913, plan revision for new land development at 2015 Hot Shot Road. I'd like to call on our township engineer, Krista Penn.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt. What this is a DEP planning module, and it's related to the proposed development at 2015 Hot Shot Road. What this is related to is their sewage facilities and their additional flow that they would like to add to the system. Even though Aqua owns the system, the planning document that discusses sort of the operation and how the system should work is a township planning document. So when an applicant wants to amend that document, the board needs to adopt their amendment, the amendment being the planning module. So all this is they're proposing to add 1,610 gallons per day for the 7 lots that are proposed at 230 gallons per day. Everything is in order. They've checked all the boxes and filled out all the forms. So we would recommend that you adopt this resolution, which would then allow it to be sent to DEP for review. If that makes sense. And keep that in mind because the next item on the agenda is another one. So it's just an amendment to our Act 537 plan in the form of a resolution.
Thank you. Will anyone make that motion?
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Coleman and Supervisor McDevitt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that resolution is approved.
Resolution number 2914, plan revision for new land development, 707 West Germantown Pike. Again, I'd like to call on our township engineer to review this item.
Thank you, Vice Chair Coleman. This is another DEP planning module. This one is for a property at 707 West Germantown Pike. It's the Volk Funeral Home. They will be planning to add a garage with an apartment on the second floor, so it's a 1 EDU, 230 gallons per day. DEP is requiring the applicant to do a full planning module. Usually for smaller things like this, they exempt them, but they got to do the whole thing. So again, we would need to adopt a resolution amending the Act 537 plan, and that document is called the planning module. And again, they have all their documents in order, checked all the boxes, so we're recommending adoption of that resolution.
Anyone who wishes to approve that resolution?
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Coleman.
I'll second.
Thank you, Supervisor Bananas. All in favor?
Aye.
Hearing, any opposed? Hearing none, that resolution is approved.
2025 Road Improvement Program. And this is Krista's night, so we're going to call on her again to review this item.
Thank you, Supervisor Cavanagh. This is, as you know, we do a yearly road resurfacing program. We have identified 6 roads for resurfacing this year. They are Northampton Road, Brenda Lane, Manchester Road, Wellington Road, Barbara Drive, and Nottingham Road. Not the entire length of all of those roads, but portions of them, most of them. This would be just to authorize us to publicly bid this, or publicly advertise this for bidding, when the plans are ready.
And this is also a phase 1. We have some other roads we're going to be coming back to you on, but we want to think there are certain ones we want to get started on right away and get it out there and start this process, so.
This is also funded by liquid fuels funding from the state, from PennDOT.
Is it our goal to use a single contractor or multiple contractors?
Because of the responsible contractor ordinance, there's a process that has to go through, and they have to be qualified, so it will be one.
Okay, just to cut down on the administration, or there aren't too many that meet those specifications. And then would we use the same one for phase 2, or?
Phase 2 would be a separate contract and separate process, yes.
Any other questions? Anyone want to move to approve that?
I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Thank you, Supervisor.
I'll
Deb.
second.
Thank you, Supervisor Cavanagh. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the monthly expenditures. I'd like to call on our finance director, Mr. Chris.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt. Before you tonight are the township's expenditures for the period of February 25th through March 24th. Our accounts payable expenditures totaled $478,235.12. Our payroll expenditures for that time period were $465,927.92 for a grand total of $944,163.04. Our accounts payable expenditures includes payments for utilities, services, and other authorized purchases, and our payroll expenditures, of course, are salaries, wages, taxes, and other payroll-related expenditures. So tonight, we're before you asking for approval of the expenditures totaling $944,163.04. Be glad to answer any questions you might have.
A little bit of a light month, is that?
A little bit of a light month because of the way the meeting dates fell.
Okay.
So we run into that occasionally. Last month, our expenditures were a lot higher, but again, that's because of when the meeting dates fell. So we happen upon this 2-3 times a year.
Can we just make sure that, it should say February 1st through February 24th, correct?
It says January.
Oh, yeah, no one sees that except me.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure.
Yes.
The memo has the right dates.
Okay, thank you. Anyone want to move to approve this?
I so move we approve it.
Thank you, Vice Chair Coleman. Second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Mr. Hart?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple of quick things. It's getting nice out, so people are already filling our parks and using our pickleball courts. Just to give an alert, behind the new pickleball courts, we are getting very close to starting to build our 2 tennis courts that will also be marked out for pickleball as well. So we've had people ask for different, we usually do lessons, and so we're in the process of getting that back. Our Public Works will be working on that. We'll start moving there soon. So we'll hopefully, that weather permitting, that goes quickly and we're back up and running, adding those courts. I think there'll be a challenge keeping them open for tennis with all the pickleball mania. And I'm not even mentioning Supervisor Cavanagh. A pickleball champion.
And you know what, you have to mention that those 2 tennis courts can be converted to 4 pickleball courts. And combine that with the 2 existing athletic courts, so we can really have a
Right.
And it's a popular sport, so they'll be put to good use.
What's our reservation system for those?
Right now, there is none, but there may be, we look at different places that have a system. So if the need arises, we have some plans that other places do, so we'll see how that works out, but we haven't put anything in yet. And we are actively hiring camp counselors. Our camp is a very popular camp where we're staffing up pretty quickly. Camp was full in a matter of hours when we opened it. It's the best value, we think, in Montgomery County, so we're looking forward to another big year. And a lot of good things. We have, our Good Friday, our Easter egg hunt. We have a lot of positive, fun things for the community coming up as spring really arrives. So stay tuned, and we'll have a lot more to report in the comments.
Those supervisors, any news or remarks? No? Upcoming news and events.
All right, Tuesday, April 8th, 2025, 7 p.m. zoning hearing board meeting. Wednesday, April 15th, 7 p.m. planning commission meeting. Thursday, April 17th, 7 p.m. human relations commission meeting. And Tuesday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. board of supervisors regular meeting. Upcoming events, Thursday, March 27th, 1 p.m. movie matinee, please RSVP. Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, Wind Creek Casino bus trip registration is required. Monday, April 7th, 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. bingo. Again, please RSVP. Friday, April 18th, 2025, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Our famous and worldwide renowned Easter egg hunt. Please come on out and have a great time. And lastly, Monday, April 21st, 2025, 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. bingo. Once again, very popular. Please RSVP.
It's a little further out, but we also have Norriton Little League opening day.
April 26th.
Yes, that'll be coming up. There'll be information about on social media about all these events coming up, so.
Now, with that event, is that the girls and the boys, or just?
That is something,
Yes.
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
I have to confirm on that.
It came from the boys.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
This is what I heard, that's why I was bringing it up.
Yeah,
That was gonna be from.
Tim Spielberg confirms that.
Well, it was always for the girls and the boys, because the Little League was co-ed.
Well, they had another one that were behind the
Yeah, but now it includes baseball and softball.
They're soft merging this year. Next year they'll be completely one league, like East and West Arnton was 5 years ago.
Got it. Thank you. Finally, again, thank you all for being here this evening. Would anyone like to make a comment, ask a question? Welcome.
Quick question, John Cole, East Hayes Road. Question for Mr. Hart. Could you give an update on the status and activity of Ballard Pool Park?
You probably know as much as I do. The cell tower is in the process of being constructed. We've had a few calls asking about people, most of the people calling and saying, we can't wait till it gets up so we can have cell phone service in the area. But if you recall, we discussed it in prior meetings, that cell tower is going back into the wooded area. And the company that's putting them up has agreed to clear out the old path and trail throughout there and help, not maintain it, but help cover it. We don't know exactly, we're going to work with them on what the ground will be, the layer on the ground, but they are going to do a lot of work on that. Our plan also, once that takes place, is to clean out, people unfortunately have taken the opportunity to dump things in the wooded area there where all the parking lot. So we're going to clean that out, and we are going to finish it off with new paving, new signage and striping. So we're hoping with this that it becomes a much more positive and usable park. So that's really where we're at.
Thank you.
Can I do a quick follow-up?
Sure.
I did walk that this weekend, actually. And the marked lease area, is that the permanent leased area, or was that just a field walked location? Because they cleared it and directly in the middle of that leased area is a 48-inch tree.
I did not walk it with you this weekend, so I will go out and check tomorrow. I don't know.
I mean, it's probably the biggest tree in the park, right in the middle of the lease area for the side, which doesn't seem to make sense.
I would think that their national engineers would probably have some, have noticed that tree, but I will check it out.
I mean, they completely cleared all around the tree, and the tree is dead center in the middle of the lease area.
Right. I will share that concern and reach out to them.
Thank you. Any other citizens to be heard?
Any update on the dog park? Haven't been here in a while.
Yeah, as far, well, last meeting was canceled. There's another, I think it's April 9th. April 9th is the next meeting. I think the last update I gave here was it's ready to go other than letting it grow.
Yeah, I've driven by, I saw that there's two sides for large dogs
Yeah.
and then small dogs.
Now they have 2 growing seasons, meaning spring and fall, so that's the problem. Right now, from what the last update was, it's waiting for it. We just noticed, in fact, our solicitor, Mr. Balco, just told us, who represents Montgomery Township, who opened theirs too soon. And they had to close it now for several months because it turned into a mud pit because they opened it a little before the growing seasons took over. So he actually just mentioned that in the back. So I know the frustration, everybody wants to get it going. And the waiting part for the growing just seems to be never ending. But
What
that's
do you
really
mean? What could be more exciting than watching grass?
Grass growing.
Do you know how it's gonna be run? Who's gonna?
That's what, apparently, the meetings coming up now are going to work that out. So, you know, we've kicked around a lot of ideas. Group of friends of the dog park, all those types of things, but they're supposed to be starting to be discussed in more detail coming up now. So we're gonna have somebody I don't know if it'll be me, but somebody will be at the meeting on the 9th, and we'll have some more information on where that goes.
Any other citizens to be heard? All right, hearing none, I'd like to invite someone to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Thank you Supervisor Pettit.
Second.
Supervisor Dennis, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned, thank you.